First of all, just how big a game is this against Dundee this weekend?
Huge. Like every game we play just now, Stephanie, that's the way it is for us. We need to get wins on the board if we've any hope of getting the playoff places, and that's our main objective now. Same way as the Hamilton one was huge the other night. The performance was good, we just couldn't get the result, but I can't ask any more of the players and how they went about the game plan, how they went about the game, and we were so unlucky not to take anything from it. But absolutely huge game as usual.
How frustrating is it for you, given that good spell that you were on, that you've had the back-to-back defeats, and as you say, a good performance against Hamilton the other night?
Yeah, it's frustrating, of course, because we want to make sure it just latches us on or gets us right in amongst it, or even takes us, if they go our way, within 6 points of Queen's Park. But they've not gone our way. It was just a crucial time of the season. It's a setback, but that's all it is. We need to make sure we don't lose confidence because of those defeats, because we could have lost confidence Saturday because we were beaten 3-0 when we were good in spells in the game, and then we didn't know because we took it into the other night, and I thought the all-round performance was really good, and I still don't know how we've not taken anything from the game. But sometimes when you're in pressurised situations, that's kind of things that happen.
And in terms of your promotion hopes now, how do you sort of assess them? I mean, the league is so tight from the very top to the bottom. Do you see playoffs as now your best chance? Yeah, simple as that. With the thing that we can achieve, which is realistic, is the playoffs, but we have to win games to do that, or else you're looking the other way as well. But we've got to make sure that we're taking points from the next games to make sure we're really in contention for staying in those playoff mixes, because we're good enough. We've got a good enough team, and you saw that by the performance, you saw that by the Livy performance, and spells in even the 3-0 game. I think we've just got to make sure we're more solid and don't give teams a sniff, because that's demoralising us within games where we're losing goals, and make sure we take chances, because if we do that, like we did against Livy, you saw what happened in that game. And it just shows the fine lines in this league, because a couple of wins you're right up there, a couple of defeats you can start to look over your shoulder. But it's the same for so many teams.
Yeah, it is. That's the nature of this league. It's brutal in a good way, because it's so competitive, whether you're down the bottom or up the top, and you're always got something to aim for, and that's the way we are just now. We're frustrated, of course we are, because we had a real opportunity to put ourselves right in the mix, and now we're fighting to get in those playoff spots. We're desperate to get there, but we need to make sure we're winning games soon.
Okay, all the best. Thanks, Billy.
Cheers.
Billy, is it what's it that Hamilton will do that the rest of the boys, the rest of the teams the last 4 weeks didn't do? Is it more but what we didn't do, or what they did? What was the difference the last two games?
They played counter-attack football, and we were the preparation was spot on for it, and the boys knew, and they knew that they've done it to us before, where they sit in there and the counter us in the break. But we seem to have a little switch off, whether it's giving the ball away, Stevie, as you saw in the first game, and even the other night there with a couple of early moments where we gave the ball away and you're thinking, oh no, again. They've got to learn individually, because see, if I've not told them, I understand that, but they've been given warning. But we settled, and you see how well we played. I thought I think John Rankin, if he's honest, will say that Hamilton were fortunate to take 6 points out of two fixtures, but we've got to look at ourselves. If we got the second goal, we've hit the post the other night, we've hit the bar, we've had one headed off the line, we've had other chances, great chances, and we've not scored to put us 2-1 up. We just can't seem to get to where we want to be in the game, and that's all the difference was. I can't fault the performance or the effort or the determination. It just never went our way, Stevie, however frustrating it is.
No, I agree. I mean, the amount of chances in the first half crosses, it's just a case of getting in the end of some of them, and maybe again off someone's backside or off the back.
We worked areas we wanted to work. We worked on it specifically in training and made sure we showed them video and we said this is where we want to exploit, this is where they're offering up. And I don't think we could have done it any better. We just needed to go on the end of one, and when we did go on the end of it, it's either coming off the bar, the post, or getting headed off the line. So there's a lot of bad luck there as well, and we've got to remember that. But we're not winning games, so when you don't get results, there's frustration, and I'm as frustrated as the rest of them. But if you look at performance, I've seen teams where they're flat and they're no offering anything, and they look alright, there's no way back for them. We're no like that. We're no like that. We are still going. We're still getting into good positions. We're passing the ball well. We're playing good football. We're just not getting the rewards just now at these vital times. It's as simple as that.
And obviously, Den's parts of place that we spoke to Cam about. He had a world of that game, obviously with 2 goals. I'm sure you'll be looking for something similar for Cam and the boys this Saturday.
I just want somebody to stand up in terms of just go and grab the bull by the horns and just go and score, be ruthless. I said to Stephanie about the Livy game, that you're not telling me Hamilton the other night couldn't have been like that if we stick the ball in the net at the right time. But we missed our chances and they took their very few. They had 3-4 opportunities in the game and they took 2 of them. We had loads more and never took, well, we took 1. But we have to be more ruthless, and if we do that, we'll gain confidence, and then we'll go and win games. That's the fine lines of football, it is. But in terms of performance level, are my team playing poorly the last 3 games, even 4 games? Well, the 3 games with Livy, but are my team playing poorly? No, we're just not getting the rewards we deserve, and it's frustrating because it's the crucial time of the season.
And then talking of frustration, Billy misses this Saturday, so is that a chance maybe for Ozzy to come back in, or is that maybe too soon for him to start?
We're going to have to look at it. We'll need somebody to go and play striker for us. We've got a few options, but we'll see what we come up with. But yeah, it's frustrating. They weren't yellow cards, the 2 of them. In fact, it was a penalty, and we didn't get it, and that's another thing when it's vital times and you're desperate and you want things to go your way, just for a wee break, that doesn't come your way either. That's the way I'm feeling, and it's the honest truth of the matter, and it's just, it is the way it is. We've got to just do the same things, don't let your performance level dip, and so go and see if we can turn these defeats, or get it back to the Livy way at both ends. Absolutely solid at the back and ruthless going forward. We need to try and do that.
Yeah, I think you love Saturday, mate.
Cheers, Stevie.
Billy, when you talk of that frustration, is that something that you can sort of use to your advantage in a way as you look towards this game and sort of try and have that galvanising effect on the squad? Yeah,
but I don't think I have to galvanise them too much, Andy. I just want. Do you know what I want them to do on Saturday? I want them to do the same as they did against Livingston. I want them to do the same as they did the other night there against Hamilton. But make sure you take your chances when they come your way at the crucial stage of the game. If we do that, we'll be fine. Absolutely fine. So I don't want them to. I'm not going to the boys, we need better. I want you to push more. I want you to. I'm saying to them, go and take your chances. Don't miss those opportunities. And make sure we don't switch off at the back, or defensively. It doesn't have to be in your back line, it can be midfield, giving the ball away. Don't switch off. That's all I'm saying to them. I'm just saying, keep it going, it'll come if we do that. If we drop below that, well, it won't. But if we do what we did Tuesday and Livy in the first half an hour of the Hamilton game here, we'll be just fine. But it's I don't want to say the word, it angers me, but you just get so frustrated with sometimes what you see at that vital moment. Go and finish teams. Go and don't give that slack pass away that give teams a lift. That's the way I'm feeling at the moment. I'm not saying to them, listen boys, as a whole you're going to have to up your levels. I'm not saying that.
And I suppose the good thing from the point of view of the Livy game that you mentioned is that it is still, quite fresh in the memory as well. A day like that when it all sort of came together, and is that something that the players can still sort of play off in a way as they look?
That's what we can do. That's what I said to them after that game. That's your bar set. Now they've dipped below that bar in terms of taking those chances when they came their way and maybe switching off a wee bit defensively. But as much as how's your play, how's your overall work rate, it's good. It's where I want it to be. But we just need to realise that we've got to show the technical side that sometimes where the other team, the shoulders shrink. Whereas, don't make it ours, don't make us, oh, here we go again, we've got to try and get back in it by switching off, or we've missed a great chance. That's the way we've got to. I'm not asking any more of them. I just want them to do the same things but make sure they're clinical and be more solid. That's what I'm asking the boys to do, because they've not been rewarded for what they should have had in the last 3 games. That is for sure.
And just finally from me, Billy, you've been pleased to see Robbie Dees back on the field.
Great.
On Tuesday as well.
I'm delighted for him. He's such a good pro, the big man. He's a long way. There's been little things when you come back for the long-term injury, the broken leg, where he's had a wee ache in his leg at some point. He's just had to make sure he rests it the next day and get himself back. It's been a long road, but he's pushed himself, and you could see he was delighted getting on the pitch the other night, and I'm delighted to see him, and so were the fans, and rightly so, because he could be a big player for us from now at the end of the season.
Great, Billy. All the best for Saturday.
Cheers, Andy boy.
Where are you at with injuries at the minute, Billy? Maybe still a couple out, but obviously plenty have come back the last few weeks as well. Are there any more sort of in the pipeline returns-wise?
Roddy McGregor shouldn't be too far away. Shouldn't be too. He had a wee setback, but it's not a huge one. So we're hoping to get him back. Great to see Deasy and Austin getting minutes again, but you can see how long a process it is. It's not just go, okay, you're fit, you've been training for a week, there you go, throw you out there. There's a lot more you have to factor in. So, but it's getting there with them as well, the same way as it did with Cammy Harper and Scott Allardyce. So that's where we are with the players. But yeah, it's looking healthier squad wise, but they're still just not up to speed. But hopefully that's soon.
We were obviously talking earlier in the season about how challenging it was to have so many of them out at once. Is it still quite challenging to sort of do that balancing act when they're all coming back at around about the same time as well? Yeah,
because I'm desperate to get them in the team, but I can't be silly about it and just throw them in and wreck their body straight away. You've got to do the right conditioning, and I mean that with right through the rehab to the physio, to putting them back on the training ground, to gauging how long they've got in the game. So that's what we're doing, and we're nearly there with the 4 that are back. As I said, Cammy and Scotty, we've got a wee bit to go with Ozzy and Deasy, but definitely getting there now, which is great news.
And you touched earlier on playoffs now being the big aim for the season. We are coming into that final stretch now. Time's kind of running out in the season. If results go against you, how do or die is it for you at the minute, do you think? Is it a case of you need to win now, or is there still a bit of a buffer there for you? Oh no,
we've got to get into the mindset every game. We have got to do it now. We've got to do it now to give ourselves a lift, to go and propel ourselves and go on that run and build that momentum and confidence. That's where we're at. We can't wait to, we'll still get 7 games to go, and we'll take hopefully 15 points. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We've got to do it now. But there's no way, I still go back to it, there's no way we are sitting in 7th place if we've had all our players, not even all, say you get 2 or 3 long term throughout the season, which you build your squad for. If we have 2 or 3, there's no chance we are sitting in 7th. No chance. But we are. And we've had chances now to go above that and get to 6th, 5th, 4th, but we've just not taken them because it's that pressurised time in the season. That's the story so far.